Well, welcome to the Dental Growth Partners. This is the third podcast in the row. If you haven't seen one or two, go and check those out. Some really good information in there, not only for your dentist, but if you're a small business as well, or a big business. This particular episode, myself and Murray, we're going to talk about the 9 pillars to 5x, 10x your business or your dental practice. So, we'll catch up with Murray as well, see what he's been up to. How you been, Murray?
Yeah, just been busy in the clinic, just working away. Got back from a nice holiday, so
Yeah, I've seen a bit of tan.
getting back to work. So yeah, been good.
Raring to go.
Yeah, really excited to talk about all the different areas you can use to market dental practice, and what works, and get into it all.
It's quite when you really start looking into marketing for dental practices. There's so much you can do. It's just having the hours in the day to do it. But there's so much you can do. These little increments or big increments that can 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x, 20x your dental practice every month, every year. And we're going to go through 9 of these that are proven to work, and we're going to give you some insight in what you need to do to obviously 5x, 10x your business. So the first one is to reactivate your client list, your waiting list, your patient list. It's something which, whenever I've gone into dentists to work with them, it's something which you sort of forget about, really.
Yeah.
You know, give me your experience of like when we started repurposing your list sort of thing.
Yeah, so for your dental practice, you usually a bit unaware, but you've got all your patients' contact information. So you've got their addresses to send them letters, and you've got their email addresses. So you can then quite easily access them via sort of email, like an email sort of list approach. So I think all the practices I've worked in, like as an associate, when I used to be an associate, they never really had a structured way of communicating ongoingly, which is kind of a massive lost opportunity. But the reason why this is probably the one to talk about first is that everyone can start this.
Yes.
Day one. You can literally download your list, put it onto a emailing platform like MailChimp,
Yeah.
and start doing it. And it's one that I think everyone should be doing, but probably 9 out of 10 practices aren't doing.
It's the easiest one to do, isn't it? Because, like you say, it's like you've got that list there. You've got that. You can really just up your level of income and investigation into whatever you're going to put out. Like I say, with your email list, like through MailChimp or any of these type of automated email systems, even just like a monthly newsletter to them about what's going on in the practice.
Yeah, and patients love that. Just a monthly newsletter is like the best way to just do it and sort of come across well, because patients like to just keep updated. So you can do things like what's new at the practice. There might be new team members, new bits of equipment, new treatments that you've sort of recently sort of added to your sort of menu. You might have been recently on a course, personal sort of updates on who's been on sort of various trips and trainings, all these sort of things. And patients actually, they're really interested in just hearing this sort of information about the practice. It's amazing when we send them out, the week afterwards, people come in and they're like, oh yeah, you've just been on a course, or so-and-so's training as a TCO, or people do read it, and then they sort of prompt conversations. But obviously from a marketing point of view, that's powerful if you've got an offer on certain treatment, like an offer on whitening, an offer on Invisalign. You can be sort of making people aware of it. It's a really, you would say it's like an awareness tool.
Yeah.
And then that sort of prompts people. They might be coming in anyway, or they might be passing the practice, but like, oh yeah, now I'm aware, I'll just pop in and ask about it.
Well, also with that sort of targeting as well, you can target segments of your clients, like your patients. So like just for like Invisalign, if you've got a new bit of kit, or there's something new's come on the market which will help them people, you can just send that particular email to them. You can also see who's opened it, when they've opened it, what percentage have opened it. You can hone your headings, your your offers, to get the most out of it. It's something you can test, and it's a very powerful way. A lot of people say, "Oh, email lists, no one opens emails," but they do open emails. It's
Yeah.
still a very good way to up your income every month.
And even just the fact that if you're consistent with it, your name is just
Yeah.
popping up into their inbox. So even that is just making them, oh yeah, that's my dentist, that's my dentist. Like this sort of level of like awareness
Yep.
is just ticking over. And then when they are interested or got a bit more time, they'll open one,
Yeah.
read about it. And yeah, it's like I say, the sort of minimum I would sort of think is like a monthly newsletter,
Yes.
and probably
That's a
promote
good start, isn't it?
maybe some a seasonal offer, so yeah, which is put out as an email, and then what you're describing is a much more sort of advanced, like breaking that list down into
Yeah.
age groups and various sort of sections of that list who might be interested in certain things.
I mean, you can even send them. I mean, when you get real down to the nitty gritty of it, you can even send them like, if you want to, it's like their birthday. Send them a birthday email. Happy birthday. Have you thought about this? Is what we're doing, or these type of things. There's lots and lots you can do. It's not just you can schedule the emails to come out at a certain time of the day or week or each month, or so you're getting a bit of repetition. And they sort of some of your patients will be looking forward to, like, Sunday, first Sunday of the month. What's happening for dental skin, or whatever it is, whatever whatever dentistry it is.
Yeah, and I think some of the pitfalls of doing it is you can do it through your practice management software, but there's a really big like bounce back rate if you start trying to use that system, because that's gets flagged up as sort of
Yeah,
sort
it
of
can't spam, can't it?
Yes.
I think that's the trick, is to get a good medium.
Yeah.
Don't really send one every day, because people will get the ump with you, and they will unsubscribe and that type of thing. So you need to get that. You need to know your audience, which you will do from feedback and everything.
Which I think
from
like
emails.
newsletter is
once a month is really good.
is a good way. It's a good reason, because you'll have something to talk about once a month. Where you won't have something to talk about once a day.
Or something like Valentine's Day, so like whitening. If you have whitening offer for Valentine's Day, or something for Christmas, or New Year, or that type of thing, or holidays coming up. Do you want to get ready with your smile, or there's lots of different things you do without oversaturating their inboxes.
And would you say that's probably actually, because those people will be into the practice, it's one of actually the warmest areas you can go to promote yourself or make people aware, because we've talked about in the past episodes about paid advertising, but actually all these people they already came and saw you once.
Yeah, it's not free, but you have to pay. Well, some email services and software are free, and then you start paying once you get over a certain amount of emails you send, or a certain amount of email addresses you get. So it can be relatively cheap, or actually free, to actually keep in touch, and it's a really good way of upping your income every month, every year, and keeping in contact and in touch with your patients.
With people who already know you.
Yeah, which is good.
Oh, and then we're going to keep moving through sort of the next one. So last episode was all about
we spoke about Facebook. We spoke about Facebook ads. What I'll say, I mean, that's the second pillar, Facebook ads. What I would say about Facebook ads, we've already done a whole episode on that, but I would spend as much time as you possibly can. Facebook ads, firstly, are one of the most best conversion tools that you have in your armory. To actually use Facebook ads properly, I would not scrimp and scrape on Facebook ads. For your ROI will be really high if you do it right. If there's any one thing I would say, right, this is what you need to do to 2x or double or improve your income, is to run Facebook ads. No matter what budget you've got, and do them right. Make sure that visual that the person's seeing resonates with the people that live in your area, or your patients or prospective patients. Or there's no good putting something out for children's orthodontics, an advert, if the demographic of where you live is like over 60. It's like you're more likely to be doing full jaw implants, half jaw implant, those type of things, rather than children's orthodontics. So really try and think about the ads you're going to do, and have as many different images and words and headings and offers and all those sort of things. Go and have a look at the second podcast that we did about Facebook ads. It will really help you anyway.
Yeah, and I think you can use we're just talking about your list, and you can use your essentially list of your current patients to see what that looks like, and that guides what things you should be advertising for.
Yes.
Because sometimes dentists, they want to be a certain way, and then they're in an area that doesn't exist. So you're sort of trying to advertise for treatments that you're currently not doing because you think, oh, I'd like to do that, but actually your area is not it's not the best thing you could be doing. You might be, I say, have an area that's better for implants. So really, you want to be advertising for that because you're appealing to what people want and need.
In marketing, there's a famous sort of ratio thing. It's called the 80-20 rule. You spend 20% of your time getting 80% of your profit. You don't spend 80% of your time getting 20% of your turnover or profit. And that's exactly what you're saying. Is like, don't be advertising through Facebook ads or anything, or email lists or anything like that for products or services or whatever that just don't exist in your area. You're wasting all that time trying to get a very small amount of income or profit that you're never going to make work.
Yeah. So if you want to study that in more detail, we go back to our previous episode because Leon goes into that a lot more detail. But the second form of paid advertising, which is like the third pillar, which is like complementary, is Google Ads. And the difference with Google Ads is
it's very similar to Facebook ads. If you can make Facebook ads work, you can make Google ads work. But the difference is you're using positive and negative keywords. So things like in your website, if you've got your website or landing pages all done perfectly, properly with all SEO, then you're going to get more customers just because your SEO is good. And when you're using Google ads, you have to choose and test and put in the right negative and positive SEO AdWords. So in other words, a dentist, you think dentistry. Yes, but then you want to, break that down into Invisalign dentistry or full jaw, or you're competing against other dentists in your area for those keywords to be able to put that advert in front. So it's very important that you do that right. Otherwise, you can waste a lot of money. You've got a budget of a few £1,000s to push into your Facebook ads and your Google ads. You can sort of do it yourself, but you really do need someone that will save you money by having a knowledgeable person to actually run those and produce those Google and Facebook ads.
Yeah, I mean, the difference with the Google ads is that you drive people clicking, or they're sort of interested, like researching who's, they need an implant, they're sort of therefore putting in like implant in your area, and then they click on that and they get put onto a landing page. Do you want to just describe what is unique and what is like the purpose of a landing page?
Landing page that I would advise for every dentist to have a separate landing page for each product, each service that you produce or you offer to your the people in your facility. For instance, we use it quite a lot. Invisalign, I'd have a separate landing page which is like a funnel. So in other words, you're pushing people either through your Facebook ads or you're pushing people through your Google ads to that funnel, to that page which is dedicated for Invisalign, or it might be orthodontics or whatever you're trying to give to the people, potential patients, clients in your area, and that will funnel down and give people all the information about the services that you offer, videos on there. It's a single standalone page within your website or on your website where it would just give people all the information, as much information, and funnel them down to actually booking an appointment with you.
Give their details.
To get their details from them, their phone number, all that type of thing, and then you can use those details to retarget them, to send them an email, to ring them up, to, they're halfway there. They're a warm potential patient because they've gone through all the details of the price, the finance, what you as a dentist does. You've got videos of them, you've got images, and they're like, all the way down. They're like, oh, this is really good. Going to they're more likely to put their details in if you've got a dedicated page, which you've been putting ads from Google,
Yeah.
to.
And the the difference in medical things on Google is that it allows retargeting. So if you get someone clicking through, say interested in implants, they click on the landing page, the cookies or the kind of the web browser collects that information.
Yep.
And then essentially it knows that person, or Google knows that person is interested in that, so it'll keep trying to recontact them for you essentially.
Yeah.
Put your ads back in front of them.
Yeah, so it's re-putting those ads. If you're running those ads, it's re-putting those ads in front of them people because they know they're interested. They're warming that potential patient up, potential client for you.
Yeah. Whereas Facebook and Meta, they don't allow you to do that.
You can retarget with things like Facebook pixels and all things like that. Once you get in the nitty gritty of it, it gets quite complicated. You can do it, but for your general dentist, you just need to get them ads out there. Then you can retarget them at a later date, but to warm them up and try and get their details so you can go through AI, or you can get your TCO or your front of desk to ring them and book them in and just make it a nice experience for them. So they're quite similar, Google and Facebook, but they sort of do two different things.
Yeah.
So you sort of need them running together to get the best out of them.
The system, yeah. And then that sort of brings us on to the next pillar, which is sort of website. And I guess for me, website is like, it's partly information, but it's also sort of an opportunity to like express your brand and like what you're kind of trying to be as a practice.
Brand is everything, I think. Yeah. If you won't go wrong if you're trying to stick on brand. You've got your brand colours, you've got a message that you want to give about the services that you offer, about the people who work there, your social dentist or your dentists as a whole. You stay on brand, you stay on your colours, and that goes across onto your social media and your adverts and everything else. Brand will 2, 4, 5x your income anyway. If you're not just a dentist, but any particular business, you just got to look at that over time. Look at Nike, the tick, and Coca-Cola, the red can, and these all branding. Whereas the products sell themselves over time.
Yeah, so that's the sort of like identity.
Yeah, trust, identity.
Yeah.
That to use nice colours. I mean, I would go as far as to say.
So if you're a really strong brand, it sort of reduces the amount of time that someone has to spend in the consideration of whether you're the right person.
Yeah.
So if they're convinced that your brand is really strong, then they sort of want it and they just instantly buy. So if it's like you said with Nike, you want a pair of let's say trainers, and you're like, you always like
Nike.
To
think about the brand is second, isn't it? It's just like what you're getting. You're trying to project that trust factor as well,
and it's going to be a good quality,
good
etc.
quality.
So in dentistry, we're talking about sort of advertising private dentistry, so you want to be essentially projecting that image of a luxury brand, of a high premium service.
Yes. Yeah.
So everything has to have that sort of feel of luxury, high quality service, something similar to the sort of top restaurant or a nice hotel. Those are the sort of like feels that you want to get across.
Yeah, and it's sure it's one of the first things as a prospective client, prospective patient that you look for. So you see an advert or you go past the dentistry and all right, have a look at their website. What do they offer? Or you can have a look on there, and it's like the website's horrible. First, you just don't even bother taking it any further, do you? Yeah. If you've got all the information, that's a real nice, it works nice, it's fast, I look at my mobile, I can get all the information I want on there, they're telling me everything I need to know, and it's like, they've been established for 5 years, 10 years, they give a line of who works there, and you see that trust factor, isn't it?
So it's building up that trust and the feeling of high quality expertise, ideally the sort of the imagery and the copy and the kind of the social proof is all sort of there on display.
Yeah, and it's there all the time. So it's like any big purchase that you make. It's like you don't buy the straight. Oh, yeah, I like that. I'll buy it. You keep going back to it. You do your research. You keep going. You think, yeah, well, I'll think about this a little bit more. You're spending a lot of money with it, with things, aren't you, these days? You want that trust. You want that quality. You want that brand where they're not going to disappear the next week. You have something like Invisalign done or something, and it's an ongoing thing, isn't it? It's not just there you go, but and gone. It's you're coming back, and it's all these
And
care from the dentist.
and obviously there's a bit of a step change now with like AI making. Do you think the whole standards of what people expect with website presentation is going to go up because obviously you've got like the ability to kind of use AI to
I think AI is
help.
brilliant, and AI is being used like you wouldn't believe in places. Most people don't even know they're actually using AI already. But I think it all comes down to that same thing. Doesn't matter how good the AI is, it all depends on what you put into it.
Yeah,
So
so
in
it's
other
got to be
words,
well
you've
designed.
got to put in the right details to get the right thing out of the AI. You can
Yeah.
put a load of rubbish in and it'd just be horrible, it'd be nasty. The website would be nasty. But if you put the right details in, so it's always worth using someone, speaking to someone who actually knows what they're doing,
Yeah.
rather than the cheapest or or fly by night. Or again, it comes down to branding and trust and
So
that
with
type of thing.
websites, you've also got like the search engine optimization,
Yes,
which
the SEO.
so when you launch a new website, it's not as good as a website that's been on there for a few years, that's been like sort of well managed, well updated. So it
Yeah.
sort of rewards
Yes, it's
rewards
like
that.
if the way SEO works at the moment is that Google, you'll put your website up like that, and then before you used to be able to trick it into thinking it was a good website and all that sort of stuff. You can't do that anymore. You actually need to put the work in. You actually need to work with someone who knows what they're doing with SEO. Because what happens is every night, every day, the Google bots and Yahoo and all these different companies, the bots are looking at every single person's website in the world. So they go to your website and they map it out. It's called like a map they do. What's there, what's all the information, all the keywords need to be right. And they go, right, dentistry, Invisalign, all that. Right, this is what this is about. So they know where to put you when someone's searching for it. But also, if they keep coming to that and it just stays the same for 4 or 5 years, you're going to drop down the list. So you need to put things on like blogs, and you need to put details on there. You need to update your website, put your offers on there, put your feeds from your Insta. There's so much you can do with it to keep it relevant for the bots that are looking at it all the time. So when someone searches for that particular keyword, you're up there within the top 5 or the top 10 or the top 1, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you're going to get more business that way. So it's really worth paying some attention to doing that properly as well. SEO, website, single pages, the whole website, whatever it is, needs to be right to get the best out of it. 2, 5, 10x your business. It's just one part of the 9 pillars of the overall.
Because there's a marketing tool, essentially Google is trying
Yeah.
to connect its offering
Yeah, it's
that
trying
for
to.
free
It wants to connect people
customers. Yeah.
people who are looking for something with you who are paying for the advertising. If it didn't, it'd be out of a job, wouldn't it? It wouldn't. You wouldn't use them if it's no good. You wouldn't use them. Same with Facebook. So they're trying as hard as possible to match you to that particular customer who's going to spend money. So you spend more money with Google and you use it more. But if you're not putting in the right information, they're finding it even harder. AI does bridge that gap slightly and helps, but you still need to put in the right SEO, have the website looking the right way, have the right images, so Google can put you in touch with those potential customers.
So yeah, and so that sort of moves on to in terms of content. Like there's obviously so the next sort of pillar is sort of
Yeah, it's very
social
important.
media marketing,
I
and
think
content production.
again, it's one of the most important aspects of 5x, 10x in your business, dentistry business or normal business. You need to be able to, you're out there with your business, your brand, your products, your services, you're vying for attention from everybody. So you've got all these potential clients, customers out there, and they're like, you're vying with other dentists or other businesses to put that particular content in front of them so they make a informed decision to buy the product from you. So the content, the images, the videography, everything needs to be so good nowadays
Yeah.
that I spend a lot of time on that as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to have enough days
Well, so
in the month.
this is
Are
why
you?
I mean this is why this is an interesting episode because that's why we're saying like 5x your business, and that's
Yeah.
why most local businesses stay local businesses, small businesses,
Yeah.
is because the people who own it essentially might be doing one of these. They don't have time to do all 9 of them. But
Yeah.
if you imagine you're applying all 9 of these at full throttle,
Yeah.
you would very shortly not be a small business. You would,
Yeah, it builds on it builds on each other, doesn't it? I mean, I remember when we very started working together many years ago, and that, and it's like the vision's there, but it's like the time, wasn't it, and
Yeah.
all that, and how it's grown, and we've pushed FDS, and we've put all these bits together, we've honed it all, and it's like a machine now,
Yeah.
isn't it? You know.
so a lot of people, they might just concentrate on one of these, and then they do that like extremely deeply.
Yes.
Like that's one way of doing it. Or you can have all departments sort of covered.
Yeah.
But in terms of growing a business, you can essentially, you can increase the number of customers, you can increase the amount you're charging,
Yeah.
you can increase the hourly rate essentially. So these are the sort of 3 things you're trying to do in a dental practice. So you're trying to increase the number of patients, trying to increase
Yeah.
the hourly rate by doing more treatment and less, well, not less, but essentially build up both.
Yeah.
Like
With
the sort of
technology and services.
build up
And,
the routine dentistry and build up the amount of more expensive treatments that you offer.
yeah.
And yeah, this is like the sort of the aim, and actually all these different people respond to different things. So having actually all
Yeah.
these things in play means you're sucking
Well, I've
in.
found whenever I've gone into a dentistry or a dentist, it's you find that they're all very knowledgeable people. They wouldn't become a dentist doing all that work at uni you have to do. They're quite intelligent people, and they know what they want to do. But it's a time thing, isn't it? Hence why we're going in there and we're trying to help them with different aspects of it,
Yeah.
showing them what they should be doing. And it's brilliant to see when they like the old light bulb goes on after 3 months of working with us or 6 months. It's like bloody hell. We concentrate on that. Concentrate on this. We've done this. We've done this. We've done this, and it's like whoa, we're 10x, and
Yeah.
it's brilliant because it's good for us because we're doing what we promised we would do,
So
and it's good for the dentist.
for a dental practice, what's the like the sort of schedule would you suggest for sort of video, for social media content creation at the moment? You say once a month, like
I would say once a
video
month. I
collection?
would say get your videographer in or your marketing person to come in once a month. Have a filming day where you can get in. Hopefully, you can get in your testimonials.
Yeah.
So you get your patients who are up for doing a little bit of video in, can give you a testimonial of how good you are at the certain services that you offer.
Or recent treatments that you've
Recent
completed.
treatments. Even come in when you're doing something. If it's all right with the patient,
Do some treatment.
try and. I think a thing that a lot of dentists find hard is actually saying to the patient, "Oh, can we take a little video? Can we take a?" What you need to do is very first is work out. You know, your patients that will be up for it.
Yeah.
Put it on your terms and conditions that we may do this. Do you want to do this or whatever?
Yeah.
You will get some people. Yeah, I'll do that. I'd love to be on that. Yeah, we'll do that. Other people are like, oh, no, not me at all.
Yeah.
You need to work out which ones, and then get your videographer in or your image person. Come in, spend a day, be prepared, have a list of like, right, I want to do this one video, these 6 short videos about the services we offer or about the, particular dentist or associate or, the technology or what we're doing this week, what patients have we had in, or, or even what we're doing now. We're doing a podcast, aren't we? That
Yeah.
type of thing. It's all content is good. If it's done right, have that day to get it all and then drip feed it out for next month
Yeah.
across your social media, across your YouTube. Actually put it into your emails that you're sending out. Your monthly,
Yeah,
you can have a
totally.
monthly update where you're actually talking to the person saying, "Oh, welcome, it's back, it's Dr. Pratt here, and this is what we've got, this new bit of technology." There's so much you can do to keep people's attention, and that's what it's all about. It's about keeping that person's attention who you're trying to sell to or keep as a client or
Yeah.
a patient, and build, because the good thing is they're going to go and tell everyone else as well about bloody
it's
hell,
just something
he was
they-
round there, they were filming with him, was round there, they give a good service, I felt really special, the front of the house, she knew what she was talking about, the TCO, it's like, I'm
Yeah.
not going anywhere else. So then all their family becomes. So that's how you grow as well, like that.
Yeah, I think it's in the type of business that we are. It's like a community, or you are
It's a
you
community.
are.
You have to think in that
Yeah.
way of community. It's not just right. Take your teeth out, put a cap on. See you later. Just book whenever you can. It's more than that nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a community. If you want to survive and grow, you need to make people family.
Yeah,
Don't you really?
yeah. I think that's the communication and the kind of the expectation levels for service or
Yeah.
sort of personal service businesses is going up enormously. So the days where you could just sort of do your thing and there'd be a queue out the door because you're the only person in town doing it.
Yeah, it's not the way anymore, is it?
That's not like not. Unfortunately, it's got a bit more complicated. Than that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm amazed about the technology that's in dentistry. It's absolutely mind blowing. The AI that's in it that helps you guys actually do what you do. It's like wow, and you can see stuff on the screen, and it's like you can move it round and look at it, and God, that's how my teeth are gonna look.
Yeah.
This is the problem, and it's only getting better, isn't it? As well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's and which is great.
But
I love
the
it.
thing is, you need all that.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're only 1x. You need to be 4 or 5x to actually invest in this stuff and be able to do it.
It's the technology is great, but it's expensive to run.
Yeah, very
and then
expensive.
You need to connect essentially the patients who sort of want it and essentially can afford it to having it and having it all coming together. But that's where marketing is key in terms of connecting people with the tech and with what the high quality stuff we can do. But it's the communication of that and like getting people wanting it and sort of wanting you to be the person giving it to them. So that moves us on to probably the next pillar, which was automation and the CRM.
Yeah.
So do you want to just chat through what?
There never used to be until the last 5 years, I reckon, any sort of automation in dentistry, whether that be AI, whether that be software that actually helps your potential customer, patient, potential patient, or even existing patient down a way that saves you time. So all automation is to make it gives you more time to be a dentist. It gives the person who's inquiring about the service or a patient, gives them more time so they don't have to ring up and try and find this, come into the thing. All them things work anyway, but to have automation and a CRM, a customer relationship maintenance software, I think it's paramount. It really is. I mean, just for instance, this is where we've got to with dentistry and a lot of other industries, but with dentistry now. If you're spending all this time, all this money on running Facebook ads, say, and as people are very busy in their life, you tend to get a lot of your leads or forms filled in in the evening times when people have been to work all day, they're not looking at their phone, they're busy working, trying to earn a living, Sunday night or weekend or 6 o'clock on a Tuesday or 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. Right, I've been meaning to sort my teeth out. I've been meaning to go to Invisalign and get them done and all this with my local dentist. And they see an advert. Right, lovely. We're going to right, I'll read that. Looks interesting. Like the branding. Like what they're saying to me. Right, put my details in. So you put your details in on Facebook. Put them in. You forget about it. Go to work. You go after 2 days later. 3 days later, you get a phone call. Sorry, what are you talking about? It's out of mind. It's like, I'm a bit busy at the moment, but and that's a lead lost.
Yeah.
So what automation does now, with the help of AI, is that as soon as that person puts their details into Facebook, Google, whatever it is, they get put into like a customer system. So they might, if it's before 8 o'clock at night, they might get a phone call, an automated phone call, an AI phone call from someone if depending on the hours of your surgery, that rings them and goes through certain criteria that triages them down. So it doesn't waste their time, doesn't waste your time, becomes a lot more cost effective, and it pushes them down that funnel of like finances, like do you live in the area? No, well, I live 25 miles away, but it's not really going to be the one for you. So this is all automated. This all helps you.
So it's like this is people have probably heard of might have heard of like AI agents or AI assistants. This is like basically like an AI assistant receptionist
Yes.
who's basically automatically calling them straight away.
Automatically calls them straight away. Or if it's after a certain time, because let's be honest, if someone's ringing you at 10 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
you're like, who is ringing me?
Yeah.
So you'll get a WhatsApp message or an SMS or something like that, or a messenger through Facebook that comes through and says, oh, thank you for your inquiry. Oh, bloody hell, yeah, that's good.
And it
Bloody
starts
hell.
the conversation.
Starts the conversation. Is this the best number to bridge you on? Or, all these triage questions that it's so important in those first 5 minutes
To get more info.
to connect with that potential patient. People are busy. People have
And they want to research you as well. Like,
they want to research you. Also, if they're looking at 4 or 5 different people,
stops the search.
someone else has grabbed their attention, like we said, attention. They've forgotten about you. Oh, I'm going to go through it this way. So if you're bang on, if you're in contact with them, getting their details, giving them the information they want as well, within that 5 minutes, whether it be through AI automation, whether it be someone from the front desk, TCO ringing, or through a WhatsApp messenger, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
And what this automation does, or front desk books them in.
Yeah, that's a real game changer.
That's a game changer. You book them in that first 5 minutes to an appointment. Normally it's a free consultation. I know we use Invisalign all the time, but Invisalign, it could be a free consultation with Dr. Murray at 11 o'clock, next Tuesday, you're booked in. And behind that, the automation as well, with the CRM system, is that we employ for our dentists that we work with, is that they give them follow-up messages, and they're like, one a week before or one 3 days, keep them warm to remind them, because everyone's busy, aren't they?
Yeah,
a lot of the time it's not the actual potential patient's fault that they couldn't make it, they didn't turn up. They're just busy.
Yeah.
So you have to make the automation work. You have to enlighten them to when they're meant to be there, or get on a phone call or whatever. So it's such a powerful way now.
Warm up email
It
sequence.
warms them up.
It's like obviously very useful for them to kind of, one, you can send them sort of before and afters and reviews from other patients about the treatment, so they're like sort of.
You can put them to your landing page about all the information.
Yeah, and then they know, sort of what they're expecting when they come in, so they're more likely to turn up for that.
Yeah.
Whereas if they just booked it, like, they still have no,
I mean, how many times if
people like to know basically before they go do
course
something
they do.
now.
Yeah.
Like, they want to see as much as possible before they actually commit to stepping in and wasting their time.
And that really, with everything else, that really ups your conversion rate. Because at the moment, people's conversion rates are very, very low. If you're not incorporating this new technology and actually paying attention to what your potential patients or existing patients want, you're losing people to other practices who are putting all this in place.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're taking customers away from other people who aren't up to date and realising what the potential patient wants or the service that they want, giving them all the information, helping them with finance, but sometimes they need finance or not finance. Booking an appointment. This AI as well, what it will do is it will suggest an appointment.
Yeah.
It'll say, and you'll go, oh no, I can't make Tuesday 11 o'clock. How about Thursday? And the AI in the background, what it'll do is it'll look at your booking calendar on your software in the surgery and go, we can do 12 o'clock on Thursday. Is that okay for you? And you can book these people in. Your turnover will 5-10x on just that alone.
Yeah, it's just in terms of running a small business, it's just like another
thing that you should be doing.
Yeah, but it's
but
automated.
There's not enough staff. There's not enough know-how how to do it, and that's why where we use it, FDS and other dentistries that we work with, they go, bloody hell, we can do that, can we? Yes, we can do that, and it ups it 5-10x's instantly. With everything else in your pillars, it's the whole overall package that will 5-10-20x your business.
Yeah. So onto the next pillar, which is like maybe some people just sort of forgotten it exists because you're sort of living on your phone, but you've got newspapers, magazines, local PR,
something which you just wouldn't
interacting
even,
with local businesses.
It's something that you wouldn't even think about really. It's like no one reads newspapers anymore, no one does that, but they do.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and it's because no one else is
because you're not
paying
doing
attention.
Doesn't mean
no one else is doing it. So that means you've got a bit more attention to it. And when we say like local newspapers, you've got like the Surrey Gazette or the like we hear Ashtead, the Ashtead
We've got
news
we've
or
got
the
leather,
free papers
yeah,
or the
leather advertiser.
something like that, or even I tell you what works very very well, and that is like these little groups on Facebook, these little Facebook groups, and like. I'm just using Ashton where
Like,
we are now, like the Ashted Mothers Group,
yeah,
or whatever it is, and if you can get in those and be part of that community, not just hard sell, but be part of that community,
yeah,
and talk to the other mothers, and because a lot of it is in these areas like this is the people who work in the actual dentistry, they know half the people anyway, don't they?
yeah,
So and then it's word of mouth and everything
yeah,
else. It can be very very powerful
yeah.
to actually put a little advert in or be a part of these groups
And probably target
you know
who the likely audience of
yeah,
that
you
is.
can
So we
see
got
from these groups,
so we
not
got
necessarily selling to them, but you can go, bloody hell, there's a lot of mothers this age
yeah,
who've got children that age,
yeah,
or there's hardly any young mothers here. They're all, retired people. We live in a people who've got disposable income. They've made their money, they're retired, but they need to have their teeth done in some
yeah,
respect.
yeah.
So you can
Different.
target those, and that is all good information coming back from these groups or from these papers and
Yeah.
that you can use.
Yeah, so you might find that sort of older patients might be in the habit of reading newspapers, so they
Yeah.
still read them more as much as a younger person might sit on their phone. They like to pick up the newspaper and sort of
Yes.
scroll through it and
Yeah.
look at ads. So that's quite a good way to advertise to that group. Then you've got sort of lifestyle magazines. So like
Yeah.
yeah, we got here like Surrey magazine, which is sort of like a home
Yeah.
lifestyle type magazine. So this would be sort of maybe sort of more like makeover type treatments, like yeah, Invisalign, whitening, veneers, these sort of things that people might be sort of trying to match their personal image to their sort of
Yeah.
their sort of home, and that's
I
kind
mean,
of
it's even something like that where the hairdresser will have like on the coffee table like the local
yeah. So that's
whatever,
like
and if you're in it, there's waiting to it, and there's
down the road, yeah,
but again, you must emphasise it's part of the whole package.
yeah.
It's
So
not,
that's like local.
you're not going to 5x you just on that. It will help, but it's part of
Yeah.
the whole package, part of the
So-
whole thing you need to do.
You can have like local affiliates program as well. So,
Yes, a very good way as well is like an affiliate a program where you can actually, even your patients can be part of the affiliate program where they can
well,
recommend someone, can't they?
that's the next pillar. So that's the
That's
last
the next
that's the
pillar.
last pillar. So yeah, referral schemes and
Yeah, referral schemes,
word of mouth and
word of
affiliates.
mouth,
Yeah.
very powerful referral schemes because you've got a captive audience who like what you do, who've had a very good experience with whatever service you've offered them, and you can say to them, yeah, we offer an affiliate program, or it
Offer
might
them a little
it might
incentive.
be offer them a little incentive, give them something back where they think, oh, I'll get something off mine.
Yeah, so I think even simple things like say a bottle of wine or
Like that,
for referring a friend or
Yeah.
part of I worked in a practice that used to do a £50 M&S voucher for sort of registering or if you sort of put a name that referred you to register with a
Who
new,
doesn't like
new
a £50
patient.
M&S voucher?
Yeah, which is but the sort of marketing bit of that is that person knows has maybe needed this, and then
Yes.
their friends are
Well,
the
it's a
same.
talking point, is it?
same
Word of
demographic.
mouth. It's a talking point where
It's sort of incentivized.
they're at a coffee morning, or they're at the mothers at the school, or they're at the the women's institute, or wherever it is, whatever age group, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got a £25 M&S
Yeah.
voucher.
But
or,
having the program sort of gives
you
them
know.
a reason to, even though it's sort of it's a cue to say, well, actually,
yeah, we'll give you something back.
We'll give you something.
Yeah.
We want you to do it. Whereas obviously people do. Yeah, word of mouth is sort of voluntary.
Word of mouth is a very, very good way. The best recommendation you can get for anything is word of mouth. The only thing I will say is relative to how many people you have in your area. You scale it as you grow. You'll find your word of mouth will grow as well.
Yeah,
It's not scalable from a very low. If you're doing a small amount every month. You can't say, right, word of mouth, we're going to scale that up and improve you can't, it's relative to how big your practice is getting. And again, it's another thing.
and how good your brand is.
How big your brand is again.
Yeah.
That word of mouth, incorporates your emails, your targeting list, and that. It's very difficult to look at your ROI on an email that you sent out to Mary, who lives around the corner at number 75, when she's told her auntie about this offer.
Yeah, and
But
they look like
but
they're
it
coming in as a
is,
walk-in, but they're not really a
but they're
walk-in.
not. It's
Yeah,
part of what you do. This
yeah,
is whole thing is part of the big overall picture of 5 or 10x, just growing your dentistry practice in the area that you're working in,
yeah.
the area you're positioned, the services that you offer.
So this is So what all the different sort of
Yeah,
pillars that you could
every
be.
single one of those won't grow you 10x, but on the whole, if you do most of them or do a fair percentage of them, you're going to grow on autopilot your
Yeah,
practice. But again, it's time, it's
yeah,
putting the finances into it, and it's having the will to do it all,
yeah. Having the right
or
people.
picking the right firm or company or person to actually do that for you
Yeah,
and make it all work.
yeah. Because I'd say as a dentist, you get busy and then you get really busy,
Yeah.
and then you start to grow because, as we were just saying, you've got more people under your umbrella.
Yeah.
They're all referring more people, and then you very quickly
You
sort
get too busy, can't you?
well, then you need a team, like
Yeah.
a dedicated
Then
person looking
yeah.
after it, because your time gets more and more pressured. And then if you're trying to deliver nine streams of work to
Yeah.
keep it all running, it's very difficult. So that's the advantage of choosing like the right team to
Yeah.
help
Must
you
be
do
the
it for
right
you. And
team.
you need to be able to trust them that they're sort of one, knowledgeable, two, working hard at it, because there's a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, a lot of effort. But what I will say also is that not every single dental practice can take this and do it.
No.
It depends on the area you're in, for one.
Yeah.
So taking this model and we're doing this and doing that. That's why we work with a very small amount of dentists or practices or groups of practices that we know we can grow because of the area, for what they're doing, for everything they've got in place, that they understand the whole thing, rather than just going, oh yeah, can you just grow at 10x? Well, we might not be able to do that in your area, or you haven't got the infrastructure, or you haven't got the.
Yeah.
And that's how we work with the different dentistries and different groups of dentists to actually in 5 or 10x.
Yeah, so I think that's been really like thorough discussion about like all the
Yeah.
different pillars. And I mean, as a day one, everyone can go away and reactivate their list.
Of course they can. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah, if there's a
straightforward.
takeaway from this, you think, oh, I can't do all that, or you're not ready for it. Reactivate that list.
Yeah.
That will give you a substantial boost anyway.
Yeah, often that's just being forgotten about.
It's always been forgotten. Every single dentist I've gone into, it's like, have you got a list? Yeah, it's our patients. Well, do you speak to them? Do you email them? Do you send the offers? Well, no, because we're too busy. Yeah, but we can put automation in to do this for you and spend time. It's,
And then beyond that, probably consider getting some help, which is
100%. As soon as you start getting that point where it's like, I know what I need to do. But as I say, most dentists, they know what they need to do. They just don't have the time, or they think, I can do this. Yeah, I can do this, and they can.
Yeah.
But then they can't do all 9 things,
And can you
and
do
they
it
can't do it
month in, month out,
month in, month out. They might do it for 1 month and go,
Yeah.
well, it's great.
and then year in, year out.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, actually, I haven't done that bit this week or this month, or I didn't send those emails out. But so I've missed out on that offer that we brought. Yeah, we had the person in doing the videography, but we actually never got the we filmed for the offer, but we never actually sent it out because we're too busy. And it's like, yeah, you need to do the whole thing as a package and work with someone like ourselves or someone who's good as well to actually
deliver
be
the
able to do
whole
it.
growth
Yeah,
program.
deliver the whole growth program, and it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah.
This takes months. The first 3 months, you should see a subsizable, like, bloody hell, we're starting to rock a bit, and then it sort of really kicks in. Like, it's like most dentists know. It's like you get that first person in for whatever process, ever procedure you're doing. It's not like you all have done in a couple of days. It's weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and months before it concludes to, like, they've got their perfect Invisalign, or they've got it's not an overnight thing. And this is exactly the same in marketing.
Yeah, it takes time and sort of effort over a sustained period to really have its effect.
Yeah. So I hope you actually gained something from that. I hope you took some takeaways from it. Hope you like the subject matter. So please wait for the next episode that we've got coming out every month. hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you'll never miss another one of our podcast videos or of our any helpful videos that we put out on the Dental Growth Partners. And we'll see you for the next video.